We are Brap. We are live. We love gaming, and we have a great show in store for you all. A lot of great topics, so let's get into it. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Brap. Let me tell you something. I love that intro, that beat. I'm always bobbing my head.
Yeah, I was gonna say the intro is heat, Enrique, but it's missing Knack and Voodoo Vince.
Oh boy. How about some bug snacks?
No, we got to do games that are released already.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, so we can do that, and you say Knack, and what was the other one?
Voodoo Vince.
And Voodoo, and how about Phantom Dust?
Yeah, man.
Or maybe Devil's Third?
Yeah. Hey, that's my game. You know that.
Yeah, I know, E. I'm just messing with you, man. It's all good, man.
You should add some Chrono Cross in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Just round out the disappointment.
See, why you gotta start early already, Slummo?
Hey, look, man.
Chrono Cross is an epic JRPG, sir.
Says nobody.
Says a lot of people.
All right.
Now, is it on par with Chrono Trigger? Well, that's debatable.
It's not debatable.
But is it? You know what, Slummo? Look, it's all objective anyway.
Everyone likes it. Like, some people like Grounded and Bug Snacks. And I don't get it, but these people have their taste, and
I call it the battle for bullshit. They go back and forth. They go back and forth over Bug Snacks and Grounded. I mean, both of them dumpster Jews.
Right. It's like those football games where they always do what they call it, like the toilet bowl every year, where it's the two worst teams in the league go up against each other. It'd be like the Miami Dolphins, no offense, and like the Cincinnati Bengals. Is just
Dolphins are trash.
Yeah, they are. But it'd be like the Dolphins versus the Bengals, and it's just but who can it be a draw? Could it be a tie? I mean, like double overtime, 0-0.
Race to the bottom.
Right.
Right. Like the Washington Redskins, pretty much.
The soon to be Washington blank. Because
the blank. Yeah, they're shooting blanks. That's how they play football. Just like the Cleveland Browns. Oh, right, B Money.
Hey man, don't hit on them Brownies.
No doubt. Well, hey, real quick, guys, I want to get to the introductions. By the way, I don't know. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. I don't know if you guys have maybe when I mean you guys, a panel, if you guys maybe have the show open in YouTube and maybe have it playing. But if you do, just mute it. So I'm getting a little bit of feedback.
Nope.
It might be on your side.
Maybe it's on my side then.
Yeah. I made that mistake yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, it's gone now. All right, so real quick, guys, I do want to make a special introduction. We have a longtime Brap supporter on with us tonight. Someone who's been in the live chat on a very consistent basis, been following us for a very long time. We have Def Floyd joining us. Def Floyd, welcome to Brap, sir. How are you this evening, man?
I am doing okay. It's just a lot going on in the world. Just happy to be here. It's an honor and privilege. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Our pleasure. And there is a lot going in the world, but let me tell you something. Thank goodness for video games, because video games have certainly been a nice distraction considering how crazy 2020 has been. And, it certainly helped me pass the time for sure. And I think many of us here on the panel and to those listening live as well. By the way, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, I'm going to drop the link. Please go ahead and retweet the link that I just put in the chat. Appreciate the support as always, everyone. Hit that like button as well. But I do want to get to the rest of the panel here. We have B Money 101. B, what is going on, sir?
Not much, man. How's everybody doing this fine Wednesday?
It's a fine and beautiful Wednesday, sir.
That's
You're
right.
doing good, man. Sometimes I have to look at the like the watch and see what day it is.
Yeah, man. Everything's just blending together, man.
Yeah.
It's all just a bunch of nonsense. Ready to get over this hump, man, and get back to normal life.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, 2020 is just like diarrhea. You're just waiting for it to go, just like pass, right? Just terrible.
Like a bad stomach bug.
Yeah, it's right. It's like bug snacks. Like you ate bug snacks.
Bad pastrami.
Bad pastrami. That's right. On that note, we're gonna go to Eric Jackson. What's going on, sir? How is everything in sunny Florida, man?
About the same, man. It's ground zero. You know, like I said, I'm telling you, man, we're gonna be the first to have a rat king running around. Watch. I promise.
Oh man, yo,
It's wild, man.
Did you vote for DeSantis, man? That's what I want to know.
Say what?
Did you vote for DeSantis? Whatever his name is. That his name?
I voted for the druggie.
The drug. Let me tell you something. Real facts. The druggie would have done a better job than DeSantis. DeSantis is out there with no playbook, and
he has the playbook. It's just it's whatever the boss man wants to do.
Oh, you mean our very intelligent president of the United States, POTUS.
Yeah, that dude.
And when we say very intelligent, we're definitely grading on a curve.
Yes.
Severe curve.
He's on that other end of the curve.
Told you, man, it's hard to tell kids to do well in school. You won't become anything because, like I said, they could be like, "I'm gonna become president."
Right, exactly.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, facts. Man. Hey, you know what? You don't have to be honest. You don't have to have integrity. You don't have to have ethics. You can be president. you don't need any of those things to hold the most powerful position in the world, basically.
Yo, one bad mother in the chat is right on the money. He said DeSantis is the Don Matrick of governors.
Wow. DeSantis said if you want COVID, there's another state for you. You can move.
It's wild. It's outside of that, man. Things are chill. Family's good, so I can't ask for much more than that. But we're gonna see what's what, man. It's wild out here.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Well, more importantly, I'm glad to hear that you were safe because that's most important.
Because I have common sense.
What's that? You mean like you believe in wearing masks and stuff?
Even wear a mask and stay in my ass at home when unless I need to go and get some. I don't need to go out to eat that bad. I mean, I would like normalcy again. I would like to go to places, but I don't want to die for it.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah. Picking up checkers and next week you dead. You had to sit inside Wendy's. I just had to go inside and sit down and feel normal.
I needed that baconator.
Die for that double stack.
Jesus, man. Yeah, I mean it's crazy times, man. Crazy times, man. But last but not least, we have the man who is the king of backslaps, who can predict the future of all things gaming. We have Slow-Mo Damas. What's up, sir?
Oh, I'm looking at my crystal ball now, and what do I see? I don't see anything, man. I'm tired, man. I like my crystal ball is cloudy. Prognosis unclear.
Prognosis.
I see grounded in our future in a few weeks on the big stage.
You gonna stream it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I want my reactions to some things to be immortalized on the internet. Like if things are bad, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh!" I might say some words that like I can't take back once they out there. People are like, "Man, I didn't realize he could go off like that." Like what? He's like creating curse words all of a sudden. So I don't know. Look. All I'm saying is that I need to be wild. I need to be excited, and I don't know if I'm gonna get that. So a little cautious at this point.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, the fans, Slow-Mo, are demanding that you do a grounded video on your channel, man. I mean, that like we did a whole I think poll on Twitter. I think that was Forte who did that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna do the video, man. That's what we want to know. Are you gonna do the video or not?
See, this is look. Y'all really don't want me to do a video for Grounded. You guys really don't.
Did you see J-Dubs?
You just really want me to suffer through 3 to 4 hours of making this video. That's all you guys want. And so I understand this. I understand this now. I'm not making a video for Grounded. I'm just not going to do it.
That's kind of like your shtick with your channel, man. Like that's what people go to you, Slow-Mo, because you're the expert on these passion projects.
No, I'm not. Passion projects. You could say I would love to be called an expert or something, but I would say that my channel is about games that you may not have heard of. Everyone's heard of Grounded, so that's an X right there. That's a strike right there. That people see and they go, "Oh wow, that looks pretty interesting. That's doing something a little different. I think I want to check that out. I think I might want to get that game." That's another strike for Grounded because no one says that when they see Grounded. And 3, I actually have to like it and want to play it myself, and that's the big thing. Like all the videos that I do, all the games I'm talking about, every single one of them, I'm going to play because I like them, and there's just no way I would do a video on a game that I'm not going to play. I ain't playing Grounded.
But Slow-Mo,
strike 3.
Slow-Mo, but when you're a content creator, though, I mean, you gotta do things that your fans want to see. I mean, you gotta answer the call of the gaming fans around the world that tune into your channel week in and week out. They want Slow-Mo. They want to hear that deep voice.
I bet you more people voted in that poll than people who average watching my videos. So let's just ain't no way that's my community wants me to do Grounded. No, that's the people on Twitter were like, "Oh, can we torture Slow-Mo? Let's torture Slow-Mo."
Look, Forte in the live chat is saying that basically, Slow-Mo, we need your expertise on Grounded, and let me tell you, I agree with Gaming Forte 110% on this. We need your expertise.
Okay,
we need your guidance. Slow-Mo,
Hold
we need you.
I would do a video on Grounded if Forte drops a video every single day of next week.
Okay, it sounds like this is like a challenge. All right. So Forte,
Yep.
Forte, he will do this if you make a video. What would you say, every day next week?
Every day from Sunday to Saturday.
All right, Forte just said done. Well, this is gonna be good.
You miss a day, not doing it.
Yeah.
Are you missing these super chats?
Yeah, I got Black Baron with the $1 super chat. Thank you. And then Black Baron with the $2 super chat says, list every game of the generation per generation. What? Oh, that's tough. I can't even think about that off the top of my head.
We might have to come back next week with that one.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's homework. That's a homework assignment.
That's a homework assignment, Black Baron. I'm not going to say the last part of your name, but yeah. So
you can say Black Baron's SMB.
Yeah, Black. Thank you, Eric. These such lovely names in the chat here, by the way. Yeah. Appreciate the support, though, Black Barons. That's SMB. Holy shit! All right, guys. Before we get to the topics, we got some spicy takes on the Twitters. Talking about Grub Snacks, or at Jeff Grubb on Twitter, put out something spicy, and I saw our good friend, the Drunk Cat Alcoholocaust, tweeted that out. I think he copied me and Slow-Mo, and I think Eric too. Did he?
Yeah.
Yep. And Eric had a Shaquille O'Neal GIF handy there, and it was kind of spicy. Basically, Jeff saying timed exclusive third-party console games are going to look really silly if Microsoft begins spending similar money to bring huge third-party releases to Game Pass on day one or soon after. It makes too much sense. Time exclusives didn't do much for the Xbox One, and why would it? We spent money so only people who buy our hardware can buy this game. It's actually weird, especially compared to we spent money so you can get this game as part of the sub you already have. So look, a lot of people have been speculating that maybe Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be that first big third-party game that's going to come to Game Pass. We've talked about this on BRAP where I think many of us on the panel here believe that Microsoft, to kind of bolster the appeal of Game Pass,
You mean
they
the big
actually start dropping the bag.
You mean the first big third-party game to come at launch? Because they've had some big third-party games, just not launching in Game Pass. Like they eventually got Devil May Cry 5 and some games like that.
Exactly.
Like AAA games, but they're not like Cyberpunk 2077 would be like in a different arena. It's like almost pretty much like on the level of like a Red Dead 2. You know, getting something like that into Game Pass is a game changer. And there is kind of like this kind of thought some people kind of feel, and I don't know if it's nothing that they've said out loud. I don't know if it's for certain, but essentially all the games that they market end up in Game Pass at some point. So Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that they market. Maybe that is the potential, but then I just think it's like I can see it happening. Like maybe they got it in the contract. Hey, 6 months from now, you put it in Game Pass, but day one, I can't see it. I can't see it day one. And I know it's a lot of people that think it might happen day one. I'm just like, yeah, not for this game. Nah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go to Defloid on this. Defloid, what do you think, man? Like, do you think that this is possible? That, again, pure speculation. We're not confirming that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be day and date on Game Pass. But do you think it's possible Microsoft could say, hey, you know what? We're going to sweeten the pot up a little bit. We're going to give you a little extra money here. And, you do think it's possible?
Anything's possible, especially when money's involved.
I agree 110% with you that anything is possible when money's involved. It's like the $1 Million Man said, everyone has a price, right? Look.
It would definitely go to Game Pass, especially for how much they're already paying for it. I mean, I don't know what it is right now. Some people say $1, $15 a month for Ultimate.
Yeah, it's $14.99 right now for the Ultimate, but a lot of us got it for what was it, the $1 deal?
Right, you have Ultimate for 2 years now or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah,
but just one more year left for me. Oh man, I got it till June 2021.
Yeah.
I really wonder. So you guys remember that guy, kind of a leaker, kind of not. I don't know this guy's track record, but I think his name was Eastman or something like that on a message board somewhere, and he said that their plan was to drop a AAA game every month in Game Pass, and we were all like, "Yeah, right." But then you kind of hear some whispers that might actually really be the case, that they're going to attempt to do that. Now, I still don't think it's possible, even if they attempt it. Like, you're gonna have to really. You can't do that with just first party. You gotta get third party developers to sign on and then get a third party game in there every single month. A big third party game. Like, I just can't see it.
Isn't the rumor like 60 games though? Like they're gonna show off 60 games in this July 23rd event?
I thought they were demoing 60 games. So like you can like download a demo or something of a game and try it out
for a week. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I love that idea.
That's the way they should do it from now on. That's awesome.
That could be like a format for really all the platform holders to do going forward. If people won't go inside and we never get over this pandemic, and or just E3 never comes back, then hey, it'd be kind of something you look forward to. Just like I can't wait for Sony or Microsoft's event, their show, because I know during that week they're gonna have a bunch of games that I can just download for free off my PlayStation or Xbox or whatever and try them out.
Right. It also gives the developers time to change things that people hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely give them feedback. Go ahead, man. My bad.
I'm saying that's something people have been asking for years when it came to like E3, like, you know, things that were shown as like having some kind of like at-home event for the people who can't be at E3. You know, to maybe try some of these games that are on the show floor and stuff like that. And I know logistically it's probably difficult to kind of maintain and manage everything that's going on at E3. At E3 and get that, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe they could have somebody else that did it, but that's pretty dope that they'll be dropping demos for people to check out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that would be great. But let me ask you, BB. I mean, do you think this is going to be something we see Microsoft do to kind of bolster Game Pass? To me, it makes sense to me. It's like you have the service, and what a great way to bolster the service too. If you can actually, outside of, you know, the first party day and date, if you can get some big third party, you know, day and date deals, I mean, that would be huge for Game Pass, right?
I mean, it definitely would. I think you'll see this with, you know, possibly with some of the publishers that they work with. But the thing is like, the reason why it could be possible with Cyberpunk is because they publish the game themselves. You know what I mean? So like, if Microsoft throws them money to, you know, get the game in Game Pass early, you know what I mean? Like, that just helps them on the back end. So it's not as big a deal, and they're not dealing with like a third party publisher. As to where, like, if you have a third party game and that, you know, it's being published by EA or Activision or Ubisoft or any other, you know, third party publisher, you know what I mean? You got to shake hands, you know, with that publisher and kind of have an agreement, you know, that you're going to give them this amount of money because, you know, they're taking a potentially a huge sales, you know, loss. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. You know, I mean, it is something that could happen, especially if they get games maybe 90 days to, you know, 120 days after launch, releasing Game Pass, and they have, you know, a steady rotation of that. It's definitely possible. You know, I take it. Keep stretching my dollar.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. Look, no one on the panel would complain about them getting the third party deals. I mean, locked up like that. I just think it's interesting that, you know, the timing of Jeff's tweet, you know, and I really think that maybe something's coming down the pipeline, and maybe that's part of the Xbox July 23rd event. We know that it's not just going to be first party; it's going to be some third party stuff, and we talked about that last week. But it sounds like maybe perhaps that third party stuff's going to be deals or relationships they have with with developers or publishers, you know, that they're gonna show. So
I wonder, you know, with this though, is it something, you know what I mean, at a show like this that you announce prior to it happening, instead of like making it like a big deal when it's officially announced that game is coming? You know how they always roll out their Game Pass stuff and they say like, oh, this is coming to Game Pass in a month, or, you know, this is coming 2 months down the line or whatever. Like if they announce this at the August event and say, you know, Cyberpunk is coming to, you know, Game Pass in November or whatever, you know what I mean? Does that really take steam off the game at that point? Or people like, all right, well, you know, I won't spend the money if I'm you know, subscribed to the service. I'll just wait for it to come there.
Yeah, I think you might have a split in that, because you have people that are hyped for it and they're going to be there day one no matter what. But I definitely think it'll make people think about it, you know, whether they should hold off or not.
Right.
I mean, look, if this thing, if for me, if Cyberpunk 2077 was day one, you know, on Game Pass, I'm canceling my pre-order. Like that's not, you know, I mean, but because why would I pay $60 for the game if I can get it for $1, right?
Isn't it 70?
Well, no, it's going to be, well,
trying to keep where they are.
See, this is the other thing. This is something that I want to address too, because like I kind of jumped in with Forte the other day when we were talking about the whole 2K thing. Like, I think it's just weird, like really weird that you know what I mean, 2K was the first publisher to come out and say like their next gen version of their games are going to be $70, and everybody else is being like super quiet about it. Like, we're going to get to that finish line eventually. You know what I mean? And since one publisher has already stepped out on that ledge, Everybody else should just follow suit. Just announce whatever it's going to cost to get, your game on next generation. So then people aren't like surprised about it. Like, why wait till the last minute and hit it with the sticker shock?
I got an email from EA a while back asking me would I be okay with the price hike. And I know a lot of other people are also getting the same emails, and that's EA.
Wow. So EA's already emailed you, and they're basically saying, like, wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, like it's coming. Like what Def Lloyd was saying is, well, what about Cyberpunk? Is it going to be, 60 or 70? It's probably going to be 70 for the it's going to be, you got to imagine it's going to be 70 for the current gen. I mean, not current gen, next gen, right? PS5, Xbox Series X, I would imagine.
Not necessarily, because I mean they confirmed that they're going to have smart delivery and then the upgraded versions on like PS5. So you can't really ask people to pay the 60 for the Xbox One PS4 version, and then if someone decides to get a PS5 or a Series X and say no, you got to pay this. So they're kind of, because they're a cross-gen game, they're kind of held to.
That's a great point.
So yeah, I think that's part of the sticky situation, because like Cyberpunk is technically going to release like right around the same time, and we know it's a current gen game. You know what I mean? Like, they built the game to be on PS4 and the Xbox, and they said that their full blown next gen upgrade isn't going to come until 2021. And I would imagine at that point that there would be a box on the shelf for Cyberpunk 2077 for PS5 and the next Xbox. And at that point, that box isn't going to be $60.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's.
Isn't that what Game Pass would come in?
Yeah, but Game Pass is only offered on one console.
Oh, correct. Xbox. Right.
Right.
I thought we were talking.
So, like, Cyberpunk is a third-party game, so it's released everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking specifically about Xbox.
Yeah, Jeff Lowe, real quick, man. Can you try turning your mic up again? It got low again. Like, it was I think better before we went live.
Yeah, how about
that?
that?
It's like low again.
How about now?
Nope.
Yeah. How about now?
A little bit better. You might have to crank that joker up, man.
It's pretty much there.
Max settings.
All right, here we go. How about now?
Or you may, yeah. I mean, just if you start making our ears bleed, we'll tell you. But
yeah, because that's pretty much all I got, Captain.
Yeah, and you might want to maybe just like get closer to the mic if possible too.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the settings with the mic, but yeah, it's like I said, it's like it was better like before we went live, and then just start like as you talk more, it seems to get like lower.
Yeah,
like it's got like an automatic dimmer or something.
Right.
I've had that kind of issue before sometimes with my mic, where I think it was like something with the USB port I was using, where it was just like I would check the sound settings and I could see my gain just slowly going down, and then sometimes it would like jump up then go down again. So yeah, I mean I don't know. You might want to try like a different USB port for your mic if that's the case.
All right, I will.
Yeah, try that out. See if that works. All right, so it's going to be interesting to see how Microsoft tackles this. I mean, I think, look, obviously, I think Microsoft being aggressive. Maybe they land some third-party day and date on Game Pass. I think obviously that would be a big boom for Gamecast or Game. God, I can't talk. Gamecast, Game Pass. And actually, in OBM, One Bad Mother brought up a great point in live chat. He said, "Spend money to bring value to your ecosystem rather than weaken the others. Money added, temporary exclusives are boring. Business models outdated." All right.
What if they get something like MLB The Show, like when it launches?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, man?
I said, what if they get something like an MLB The Show, like day and day when that launches?
For Game Pass?
Yeah.
But it's still being made by Sony, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna be third party though.
Sony ain't allergic to the bag either, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be so weird. I can't see that at all.
Yeah, it's like that can only happen in 2020. When we get past 2020, I don't know what's it would make sense for 2020.
You know, even though Sony is still like completely against going for like day and date for their games, I could see them doing PS Now before they do Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like we have a service that's competing against that. I'm not going to put my game in your service.
True, that's true.
Even though you may have like 5 times the membership in your service than I have in my service, if I'm going to promote anybody's service, it's going to be my own shit. You know, like that's how but that's how I will roll. I'm like, you know, if it comes down to it, yeah, I'm gonna put it in my thing before I put anyone else's. But more than likely, I'm gonna think like that would be the one sports game I would say not at all. Like, but like if they really drop the bag, I could see potentially something like Madden, because if you think about it, EA really doesn't make the majority of their money off of the actual sale of Madden, the actual game sale. They make the greater bulk of their money off of Madden, off of Ultimate Team microtransactions. Mm-hmm. So that's not a part of Game Pass. So therefore, then like you could actually say, yeah, you know, look, that's the entry. You got like 10 plus million people that can just get Madden, and we sort of kind of cozy with Madden already. We're putting Madden in XCloud, and you could play it even if you didn't even own Madden. I mean, it's a possibility, and we lost Enrique.
No, I'm here. No, I'm here. I just I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this with the echo I'm hearing. So no, you're good, man. I removed myself.
Are you sure it's not me?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
You sound better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a different USB port.
Yep, there you go.
There you go. Look at slow mo.
Hey, look, man. I
turn my mic up.
I do what I do. This is what I do all day is tech stuff. So
well, like 15 minutes before the stream started, everything just stopped working, and I was like, "Yeah, that's about right. That's my life."
Yeah. But no, I really kind of feel like if I don't think Madden, it would happen with Madden either. I'm just saying like if there's any sports game that would have like the highest likelihood that they could get that into Game Pass day and date, it's that game. Just because they're an American brand, Madden is most popular here in North America, and
Texas.
Again, like they make over 90% of the money off of that platform, basically just Ultimate Team microtransactions. They really like, you know.
Yo, why is Greg about to throw shit at you, slow-mo?
Yeah, you know what? I deserve that. I'm
not gonna lie. I was like, yo, what is going on with like it? I heard like Forte repeating. I was like, what is going on?
I'll tell you what happened, right? I'm saying this is like it's a rookie podcast hosting brain fart. So this is what happened. I had everything set up, right? I was using Google Hangouts, like old school Google Hangouts. I had everything together. I thought I had everything straight. I'm just waiting on Forte because he had to jump in and jump out a couple times. He had to restart his computer. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm all set to go. As soon as we hit live, that reverb happens. I'm like, yo, what is going on? I don't understand what's going on. What happened was I had the stream running on a different tab that I had minimized on my computer, and I didn't mute it. And so every time we were talking, it was like playing. Everyone else was hearing it. It's also playing on my computer because I got like in a different tab. I'm looking at it because I wanted to make sure that like because there was something going on with like the thumbnail and doing the premiere portion of like the first 30 minutes, like the pre 30 minutes, like it kept disappearing. Yeah. So I kept like I had it up there because I was trying to figure out why it was disappearing. I figured it out because it was something else I did. And I completely forgot about it. And so that's why I was messing up. And Forte goes, look, man, we need you to do StreamYards. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to pull an Enrique and try to figure this out for like 15 minutes and not go to StreamYards. So no shade, Enrique. But I was like, all right.
Yo, I was gonna say at least do Discord and like and OBS or something, right?
No, see that still wouldn't have fixed it because the issue was that I had it like playing, not muted, on a different tab on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you got to mute it, man.
So I was like, no, I mean, like, in the future, I'm just not going to do that at all. If I need to check something, I'll check it on my phone. But that was the issue. And as soon as we ended the stream is when I realized what I did. And I was like, yo, oh, man. I hit up Forte like, dude, I already figured it out, man. Just come on back. But after that, we went for like a good hour and a half. It was pretty cool, just us, being Forte and Slow Mo, just talking about whatever topics that popped up. So it was cool. It was just Gregor. I was not the tech expert yesterday. I was definitely the grandmother that doesn't understand how this stuff works.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. It was funny though. It was definitely funny, but yeah. So real quick, guys, because I do want to get to one of the other topics this evening as relates to the official Xbox game show or game showcase, July 23rd. It's official now. We know that they're on the they're doing like a summer game fest demo event coming July 21st. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be like 60, I think like 60 games or so, smaller titles that were supposed to be, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, shown at E3. But obviously, there's no E3 this year because of the whole pandemic in 2020. I'm just waiting for Sephiroth to just fall from the sky.
One wing and all.
Yeah, it's saying, I'm waiting for you, Cloud. So, but yeah, so 60 demos you can play online. We get to demo those. That's actually pretty cool. And then the big show on the 23rd, where we're gonna see some bangers, right? We're definitely gonna see Halo. We're gonna see Halo gameplay. That's gonna be shown off. Actual gameplay footage. Yay. And all of its Halo glory. Apparently, I don't know about you. Have you guys heard? I've heard this from I won't say his name, but a good friend of the podcast says that the game he's hearing it looks fire.
I certainly hope so. I have heard similar as well, and I hope it's fire, and I hope it shows well. Like, and when I say that, I mean I don't want them to just show up and just go, hey, look, here's another trailer. Like, no, like don't do what you did with Gears 5, where all you did was keep showing trailers, and then it was like going into August and people still hadn't actually seen gameplay of the game. Like, don't do that. Show us some gameplay and a significant amount of time of gameplay. Like, I don't care if it's like a portion of a mission or if it's just multiplayer. Just show us something. Show us some gameplay. Show it and have it look running well, look great, and show your marquee title of the year in its very best light.
Here.
Well,
I agree.
They're going to show gameplay of this game. I think that's like the worst kept secret right now, that they're going to show gameplay. I think they need to just, how do I say? Yeah, this thing needs to look incredible. Like it has to show off the power of the Series X. Like, there's no doubt about that. It absolutely has to. They can't miss the mark on this one.
No, okay. So I disagree with Racer in the chat now. So Racer says that the problem is that there is unrealistic expectations with Halo at this point. If it doesn't like cure cancer, peeps will be disappointed. I disagree. The reason why people feel this way about Halo is the fact that 343 has not delivered a full Halo experience yet. When Bungie did Halo, and I know we want to get on our old man soapbox. Back in my day,
let's go.
Our Halos were good games. Like, no,
get in the Cadillac, let's go.
Back in my day, we didn't wear rubbers.
We're going to the bingo hall. Let's go.
What the hell?
That was just
on some off the wall nonsense.
Completely off the wall. But no, what I mean by that is that when Bungie made Halo, the campaigns were good and the multiplayer was fire. That's what we want. With Halo 4, it was a really good campaign. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know about anyone else, but Halo 4.
I like Halo 4 campaign.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. But the multiplayer was literally the worst in the entire series. And then you got Halo Guardians and that campaign. I know there's some people that be capping for it. I don't know what's up with y'all. Like, I mean, I don't know if y'all got low, you just don't really care about story like that, or you just like fight the same boss 5 or 6 times throughout an entire campaign, or you really don't care to see the chief, or you really didn't care about what that marketing hyped you up for, and then you literally got 0 of that. I don't know, but that campaign, when I'm playing with like hardcore Halo people, and we're all like 4 of us all playing together on the highest difficulty, and we just halfway through it just can't muster the energy together to play it no more. Like, it's just like, yeah, you guys up for this tomorrow? And it's like silence for like 2 or 3 seconds before someone speaks. It's just like, this ain't it.
It's like a first thing in the morning dentist appointment.
Right.
But, that's a great way to start the day.
I don't want to
exactly, definitely. They just got to kill. They got to kill Master Chief. So that's what they got to do. Kill Master Chief.
You know what? Let me say this. I'm not gonna say you wanted something, Rika.
I am onto something.
But if they adapt my idea of essentially turning it into an ongoing game, where this is the last Halo, this is like basically it's like Halo for Infinity.
Infinite, yes,
you're right. So it's just like you create your own Spartan 4, and you get to do the character creator, make their face however you want, and you, like, your Spartan 4 is being trained up, mentored by the Master Chief, and then Atriox straight bodies him. He's done. Yes. And then now it's you up against the Banished, or by yourself, or with some other green Spartan 4s or whatever. Like that's a little bit, that's different. Definitely different for Halo. That's something that shows you really don't know what's going to happen next. You just killed off like the biggest character in the entire game.
You're guaranteed to get a reaction.
Oh yeah, most of it negative. But because
we know that based on recent experience, right?
Oh yeah, The Last of Us.
If you kill a beloved character,
something tells me the energy will be different from those same people that were saying that.
Right, E? Right. They won't have any problems there. Nobody will be bothering you, E.
But the way that they did it was like, it was different.
They respected Chief. They respected him.
Yeah, it's different how they did it.
It was ludicrous. No, like should see the live chat says, show his face and kill it. That's what, break his shield right in the face. Crack it right in the hole.
Kicked him in the eye.
Yeah, but we didn't see his face. Atriox just needs to stomp on him, like beat up Master Chief, put that dude. I don't know, man.
The way they're talking Atriox up, man. He might put some hands on him.
Sounding real Destiny-ish, man. Sounding real Destiny.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will agree with you, B. Sounds very Destiny-ish per se, but yeah. But I don't want to get hung up on Halo too much, because I've talked to death about them needing to kill Master Chief, but I will say this: I'm definitely excited to see what Halo's going to look like, what 343 is working on. That's going to be their showpiece of this July 23rd event. But I also think we're going to see. I do expect to see something from In Exile. We know they're working on a AAA game. Perhaps we see the developers of We Happy Few, and I forget their name now. I don't know why it's escaping me. Compulsion. Thank you, B-Money. We know Compulsion's working on a big game that it's going to be a third-person perspective action adventure game.
Something like that.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And and then we're hearing passion projects, or not passion projects. I shouldn't say that. Reimagine. I can't even talk. Why can't I talk today?
Reimagining.
Thank you, Slummo. Blah, blah, blah.
Reimagine it.
Oh my God.
Reimagine it. No, I
wasn't that bad, Slow-Mo. No, but we're supposed to see some reimagining of titles like. Thank you. Of
I had to motivate you to say it right.
Yeah. Of some reimagining of and I'm saying it again to make sure I say it right, but reimagining of Perfect Dark from the initiative. And I've heard some other reimagining of some other games. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard of a mech specific game that was an old Xbox exclusive. I don't think that's like the craziest rumor that I've heard.
Not Perfect
but I don't think
Dark?
that's gonna happen. But definitely Perfect Dark's gonna be a thing. Fable's supposed to be this big.
Wait. You said you heard of another old Microsoft IP that's not Perfect Dark that might be coming back?
Yeah.
Did you also say something about mechs?
Yeah, mechs. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true though. Like I highly doubt it. That I don't think that's.
Who would make that for them though? That would have to probably be like a Microsoft, like an XGS publishing.
I don't know, man.
Kind of thing to get a second party to come in and do it. Someone like Iron Galaxy.
I don't think it's real. I only brought it up because it's probably it's the craziest of rumors I've heard in a long time. I don't think it's going to happen. I would say that is not a true thing, but definitely some reimagining of some other games like Perfect Dark, and the initiative is going to show that, and then we'll see Fable. Fable's supposed to be. I've heard people compare it like visually. They could be something similar visually to like The Witcher 3.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, which
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing. Hey, as long as the main character isn't like Geralt, like a carbon copy. But I mean, it's.
But they do a different main character.
They do. I know.
Yeah, every game, every Fable game is a different main character.
Yeah. Well, see, I was gonna make I was gonna make a joke about that, but then I had to pull up because I made a comment about condoms earlier, and that didn't go well. So I was gonna pull back on the Geralt joke, so I had to pull that back. Wow. Okay. So
what happened, Enrique?
What happened? What?
What happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
Joke. Yeah.
Something happened to you today, man. You like traumatized or something.
Hey, like Slow-Mo, man. I'm tired too, man. My body's weary. I got these kids. I got these heathens in the house. My 4-year-old, she's the ringleader. You guys think I'm kidding? My 4-year-old, she's the ringleader.
Yeah. Well, it's something about that age. My 4-year-old is like, I keep having to mute my mic because my 4-year-old comes in like, yeah, Daddy, I want a pink house. I want a pink Barbie house with spots on the walls and 20 Barbie dolls. Okay, bye. I'm like,
and it's something. You should come back in 5 minutes later with something just to troll you, Slow-Mo. Say,
what a cookie this shit.
She does it like make it happen, Cap, and I'm like, nah, like I'm not a human piggy bank. You're just gonna be running me.
Nah, yeah, that's dude. I feel I get this. I have the same experience, man. But
I messed with my daughter on that. She comes in all like excited, like, Daddy, I want this Geo, whatever. I'm like, you know what? I saw the same thing. I want the same thing. Look at me like, what?
Daddy, I want this new strawberry shortcake. Me too.
Like, yo, that joint's fire. I just saw it. I want that too.
You should talk to her like you're Richard Ledbetter. 4K.
Right, man. Everything they see on TV, that's what they want, man. Or they see on some YouTube video or whatever.
Yep.
Yo, my daughter thinks she's Ryan, man. She like wants to do all these. I'm like, yo, say, check this out, man. That's a program that you're watching. They don't do that stuff all day long.
Nope.
Ryan's parent get tired too.
He's got a house for his toys.
Me, does that kid not age?
Yo, Ryan has not. We're gonna find out Ryan's like tattoo from Fantasy Island. That dude.
I feel like this kid's been 5 for 15 years. Like, what is happening?
Yo, Ryan has not aged. That is so true, Slow. That dude is like I watch his show. I'm like, is this a rerun? This dude is the same age. Nope.
It's visual effects. They're filming him from further from the toys, so it
It's a
makes him
deep
look
fake.
like a hobbit.
Oh, man, like they have like a team now that does like graphics and all that stuff.
The aging him. Ryan's actually 32.
One of these days, Ron's gonna slip and cuss in the middle of a show.
That real voice gonna come out like, God damn it.
These toys suck, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Don't
like,
buy
"Hey,
his toys ever.
What is happening? What are we talking?
Yeah.
Ron's gonna be like,
sorry, Chad.
damn it. This goddamn toy.
We're gonna get
Gonna get a cease
demonetized
and
when Ryan
desist.
people find out. I ain't got much clout.
Oh man, my kids watch that shit like no one's business, man. I'm like, this kid is. You go to the toy store. Ryan's got his own toys too.
He got his own section, man.
Man,
So Ryan has a game coming out, man. Like for PS4 and Xbox, man.
Does he?
Ryan has a car race
parents
coming out.
are killing it. And they were like, here's a toy, Ryan. Good job. Let's make it rain with the money that you're making us over here. Like, man, that kid,
Right.
man.
Parents say he's the one that wanted to do all this. Like, yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Had nothing to do with all the money. Because as soon as
toys.
YouTube demonetized anything kid related, you went immediately to Nick Jr. Funny how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty
he's on
sure.
Nick Jr.?
Yeah, he's all over Nick Jr. now.
Yeah, he's on Nick Jr. now. He was on YouTube, but now he's on Nick Jr.
Yeah, he's on Nick Jr. now because they can't make money off of YouTube no more. But hey,
Yeah.
it's what Ryan wanted to do. He wanted to go to
Ron's
Nick
like,
Jr.
Mommy, Daddy, YouTube's fucking with my monetization, so I want to go to Nick Jr.
Ryan's like, the toys they dropping off not hitting right no more. We need to move.
Yeah. Oh, my.
I bought my little girl one of his puzzles, and it wasn't even cut correct. They were just like all these weird diagonals, and it didn't even go into each other. I was mad, dude. I was hot.
So they're making the Ryan toys in the same factory that they keep the actual Ryans that they put on the show. The ones that don't age.
Yeah, Floyd, that's crazy, man. Ron's puzzles aren't even puzzles, man.
Oh, you could see me losing it on Twitter, telling him his toys suck.
Get some real toys.
Oh man, how do
got a hammer trying to hammer those pieces in together.
got a pair of scissors? Gotta cut them out.
Some of them weren't even cut; they were still together. Like,
why doesn't that surprise me though? That does not surprise me, man. It's like, wow.
Off the rails. All right,
we're off the rails.
Topic.
I don't. I started talking about Fable, and then we got to Ryan. So we'll see Fable.
Fable.
We're gonna Playground Games. We're gonna see Forza. I heard Forza looks badass, by the way, which I would expect. Yeah, which I would expect.
Forza Motorsport, right?
Forza Motorsports. Yeah,
because I heard Turn 10 took a year off so they could update their game engine and kind of some more innovative things to it, because what we were getting before was just kind of like just the bare minimum that they could do in a year and a half basically of development before the game comes out again every other year, switching off with Forza Horizon. So and a racing game is your showpiece, especially usually whenever there's like a new console, there's like a racing game that accompanies it.
It's good.
That just show, so.
Has it been almost 8 years since Forza Motorsport and a real Gran Turismo have gone head to head?
How long? You said 8 years?
Yeah. I was like,
because the last Gran Turismo was like,
I would say longer than that.
Yeah,
I would say longer than that. I would say
it was right when the console released.
Yeah, so this would be the first time since like the beginning of this current gen that they've gone head to head.
Hey, were you guys impressed with Gran Turismo on PS5?
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, they look. Yeah, I thought it looked all right. I wasn't like blown away, but I thought it looked pretty good. But I wasn't like, oh my god.
I'm not like a racer fan, so I don't really know what to look for. Like, but I did thought like the third person perspective or the cockpit view where you can kind of see the steering wheel. It looked all futuristic. I thought that looked really cool.
Hey, Slow-mo, those were Ryan's hands driving those cars. They mocapped his arms. They mocapped his arms.
I do remember people complaining about like the draw distance where or really kind of the details with some lights like, and I'm like, look, people, the game's not finished yet. Like, let's not like try to review the game like your Digital Foundry and it's already out. But like it was a part where the car was going towards the tunnel and you can see what was supposed to be lights in the tunnel and then they're off, but then they turn on as you get closer. And I was like, all right, yeah, okay, so they need to work on some things. They might need to maybe lower some details to have enough memory in order to add that in or something. I don't know. But just I thought that was kind of really nitpicky. But I felt the same way about the way the people complained about the crowd in Forza Horizon. I'm like, what are you complaining about? You're driving. It's a race. You can't even see them people unless you
250 miles an hour and you're
like, so what?
The crowd.
Everything's a blur at that point. Like it's up your car.
Yeah, like, Floyd, you're right. 250 miles an hour. You're probably not paying attention to people, right?
Yeah, right. You're not doing the game right. Like, because you're definitely going to be losing if you're paying attention to the blocky, crowd person cheering you on. Like, you're probably not going to win the race. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
But Forza's going to be like I think was it you that said it? E like that's going to be their showpiece.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That usually kind of goes hand in hand to show off what new tech can do.
Ray tracing.
Yeah,
I mean, apparently it's going to be like at 120 frames per second.
Yeah, and that's usually what they're built for, man. They've always been that.
Ray tracing.
Where other games don't hit like the 60 on a standard console type thing. Those are games that usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think if it's 120 frames per second, you think it'll be 4K?
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be.
Enrique, you think it's gonna be 4K?
Yeah, it's gonna be native 4K, 120 frames a second.
No, you done lost your mind.
What?
I'm calling it right now.
Enrique,
what?
The GPU portion of the Xbox Series X is supposed to be like that. People
better than
claim,
the 2080 Ti, bro.
Well, yeah, we already know that's false. But people claim it's on the level of a 2080.
2080 Ti.
No, a 2080.
Did you watch Digital Foundry? They
said 2080. They didn't say 2080.
Here's 5, 2080 Ti.
They said that they saw some parts of it that looked on level with 2080 Ti, but they didn't actually
They did say 2080 Ti though.
Dude, you ain't gonna find a single game coming out later this year on the Xbox Series X that's gonna match a 2080 Ti. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. But a 2080 isn't doing 4K 120 frames per second. Honestly, a 2080 Ti isn't doing that for most games. And if it is doing it for a game, it's like a little bit older. Doesn't have as many features on. It definitely ain't got no damn ray tracing on, and or anything like that. So it's just.
But them flops, slow modem flops.
Yeah, the flops. Yeah, but it's just I mean, like, if it's going to be, I can see it being like 1440p at 120 frames per second, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Using like maybe a native 1440p, but then using like a scaling technique.
Yeah,
to get it to like DLSS 2.0, like what it does with
something like that. Yeah, I can see that.
What about native? I'm going to say native 4K, man. That's what I'm going to go with, man.
It's going to be similar to Dirt 5. There's going to be a native 4K mode running at 60 frames.
Right.
If you're running at 120 frames, it's going to be checkerboarded or some sort of upscale. It's not going to be native 4K. I guarantee you that.
All jokes aside, I would agree with that. Even one Bad Mather says 1440p with image sharpening. But it's gonna
like that too. I'll play that over 4K 60.
Oh, absolutely. You know what, man? Like this whole 4K native 4K, I'm now that I'm on PC and I'm playing games 1440p, and I'm like, man, these games look good. Like I can't like Gears 5 on my computer looks better than Gears 5 on my Xbox One X on my 4K TV with HDR. I mean, it just does, right?
Yeah, I agree, man. It is what it is. Like people say differently until they actually play it like that, and then they go, "Oh."
Well, I've had people argue. I've had people argue that on me with Twitter, man. What are you talking about? You don't have HDR. What are you talking about? HDR.
HDR's overrated sometimes, man.
They could scratch all the HDR if they gave us 1440p with max details, basically everything at ultra. All 4K wouldn't even mean as much as so many people.
Look, some of these guys screaming about HDR got a TCL, a $200 TCL with fake HDR. So stop.
Hey, I got a TCL, man. Don't hate on my TCL.
I own a TCL as well. I made sure it was HDR 10 though, so it's real HDR. But it wasn't $200. It was like $650.
Someone saying they got a fat kid deal.
Yeah. You know,
I got that Walmart middle of the house TCL.
Oh man,
You get 55 inches for $159, man.
Exactly.
Hey, be money. Those TVs are right next to Ryan's Toys.
Like how big your TV? Like 85. How much you pay? 150.
It's $1 inch.
Yeah, TCL. Look, I ain't gonna knock TCL too hard because TCL doing the same thing that Vizio did a decade earlier. Vizio came in, all their TVs were cheap. They weren't on the level of an LG or a Samsung, but all their TVs were cheap. But now, when you look at Vizio now, you don't find really cheap Vizios no more, and they're much better quality than they used to be. Look at TCL's TVs. That's how you do it. You come in cheap, you get some market share, you get your name out there. Like TCL TVs aren't bad. They're just not nowhere near on the level of like other TVs, and they got really popular in gaming because their refresh rate was much lower than what you would normally get from any from like HD TVs usually. So they became really, really popular for gaming because like you would minimize the amount of chances you would get screen tearing and stuff like that. So it's they did good. They make money now, but notice their latest TVs,
they up there.
They're not as cheap as they used to be. Watch them next week.
Don't they have an OLED now or something?
I don't know.
They have something that's.
They have it's basically like a QLED. It's mini LEDs.
Yeah, it is a QLED. They do have a QLED and it's not cheap.
No,
nice.
Not cheap at all.
Yeah,
everybody got the TCL TVs, man. Don't be talking about 120 frames because them TVs don't run at 120 hertz. So
no, they don't.
You can't be boasting 120 frames when your TV is only 60 hertz.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Woo! That's why I'm on PC with my 144.
The max you're gonna get is 60.
I got one.
But hey, you're not getting 120. Don't be bragging about 120 and you got TCL S series.
Deflo, what were you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say most people don't even have a high bit panel on their TVs. They're still at 10. They're not even at 15 or 20 or so. They're still looking at a lot of input lag. Also, a lot of TVs don't have game mode.
That's true, man. That's a great point, man. Like it's funny. Like we talked about this one time. Like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. People not beat us up, but they're like, "Oh, he spent $2,000 on a P." Well, I mean, look, if you're gonna want the best experience on console, you're gonna have to shell out. Like Deflo always said, there's some TVs out there that don't have game mode, or 10-bit panels or whatever, and like some will say they don't have 120 hertz refresh rate, right?
I wouldn't even buy anything.
The input lag is terrible. What's that, there, Floyd?
I wouldn't even buy anything with the 10-bit panel. I'd go 15 or above. Like looking at 20, 25 is where you want to be. Yeah,
no, absolutely, man. I agree. And then, input lag. I mean, that's another thing. So it's Anyhow, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I forgot where I was at now. My mind went blank.
We were
still
talking
about the Xbox games.
Games.
Oh yeah,
so showing.
Yeah, they're gonna be showing. So, look, I think it's gonna be a stacked event. Let me ask you guys something because I was thinking about this the other day. I was walking my dog and I was out there thinking, I was like, should I temper my expectations with the show? What I mean by that is, I think naturally, no, I think naturally, yeah, no, I mean, no, I'm not tempering my expectations. I mean, I fully expect them to really blow the doors off this show, and I keep hearing that from people that the show's going to be fire. So that's my expectation going into it. But I was also thinking, and I think naturally what's going to happen is I think people are going to compare this to Sony's June event, and it's just natural. I think that people will probably do that anyway. But I also don't think it's fair necessarily. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna happen. But I also think maybe it's not fair to compare Microsoft first party and Sony first party yet. And I was thinking that because they're really at two different points right now. Like Microsoft's kind of hit that reset button with first party. They have some very talented studios.
I disagree.
I don't even want to hear none of that nonsense you talking about.
Whoa. Oh, wait. Let me finish my point here.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you guys, and then we can kill it real quick.
Yeah.
Before we get to the Rhine Isle,
me and B going tag team this one.
Oh boy,
about to alley oop on your ass, Enrique.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
like Wade on LeBron.
Coming.
Yeah,
shake and bake.
Down the court.
Continue, sir. Continue.
All right. So no, what I'm saying is like what I'm going into this event, I'm actually comparing. I feel like it's kind of unrealistic to compare Microsoft first party, Sony first party right now because they're really at two different points right now. Like Microsoft's kind of hit that restart button. They have some talented developers. By the way, we'll see a new RPG from Obsidian, but at this event. But no one's debating the talent that Microsoft's acquired. I think they have some very talented studios now, but there's going to be there's a time period for them. It's really going to take them time to get to the point where they're cranking out like these epic gaming experiences. I use epic because when I think of games like The Last of Us Part 2, we're hearing some really good. I'm hearing some things from people reviewing Ghost of Tsushima that it's a fantastic game. And actually, someone tweeted this out. I think Eric, you mentioned this in the DM. They're comparing the side missions in Ghost of Tsushima to the side missions of the strength of the side missions to The Witcher 3, which The Witcher 3 has some of the best side missions in a game that I've ever played. But Sony's been consistently doing this for what, like 25 years now. Microsoft's hitting that reset button. My point is, I'm looking at this from the perspective of, is Microsoft, what they've shown, is it a big improvement for Microsoft? Like, are they in a better place now? Are these new games kind of the games that I want to see in that catalog that Microsoft offers, as opposed to saying, well, they don't have a game like The Last of Us Part 2. They don't have a Ghost of Tsushima. They don't have any Game of the Year contenders. I don't think those things or those kind of games are going to, happen overnight. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they could. Maybe they, hit lightning in a bottle. But I'm looking at this from a different perspective as opposed to just comparing them to, okay, well, how do they compare to Sony first party, right? Do they show any game of the generation contenders here? Things like that. So that's how I'm approaching and looking at this show.
B, would you like to go first?
Man, you go ahead first, man.
Okay. About to look like Jason Terry.
Wow.
I'm not going to go that.
Wow, Jason Terry.
I'm not going to go that far, Enrique. Look, this is what I'm going to say. One, like, even if we could say, oh, we can't compare them to Sony's first party, no one is going to give them that kind of allowance. Sony's not going to give them that kind of allowance. The gaming community overall isn't. Sony's a bigger brand, a more popular brand. There are people out here already talking about, like, I can't wait to get that PS5. And they're not even really gamers like that. So Microsoft has no leeway to be like, oh, well, we're just kind of getting started with all this and getting and managing all these studios. No one cares. You gotta get the games in, man, and they gotta be comparable to what your competition is doing. Like, you know, like when in any other industry, and especially even with companies that come in brand new into the industry, they can't say, "Hey, we're just getting started. Don't treat us like the top dog of the industry. No one cares. Show me a reason why to buy your product over your competition, or I'm just going to get what everyone else is getting." That's the first thing that like they can't use that as an excuse ever. The second thing is that I don't think it's cool. I'm not cool, but I don't think it's accurate to, and I know we all do this all the time, but to like take Xbox Game Studios, 15 studios, and just kind of like ball them all together and just kind of like view them as one, as well as PlayStation Studios, because not all of them are on the same level of quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got your Ninja Theories, your Obsidians. They should be treated the same as Undead Labs and Compulsion Games. You got Guerrilla Games. You got Insomniac. You got Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, amazing studios. And then you got Bend, Sony Bend. They're okay. And then you got
like Pixel Opus.
Yeah, San Mateo Studio. Forget they done. Sony London. You know, like you got other studios that they haven't really done anything, and they haven't really proven much. So it's what's the other one? Pixelopus. Like I mean, yeah, their best game is Concrete Genie, 75 meta game. So it's just like it's I think it's too simplified to just say your group against your group, who's better. Of course, overall, PlayStation Studios have better studios, but I wouldn't just straight up dismiss guys like Obsidian, and just because 343 is always disappointing. I wouldn't straight up dismiss the Initiative just because they haven't done anything yet. You know, like there's that potential there, and these are some really veteran studios who know what they're doing. Microsoft really don't have to do too much being on top of them for things. I think that's partially the reason why they chose them, because these are studios that had their leadership. The guys that are running the studios have been doing it for decades. You don't have to tell Obsidian how to do anything. They got their own culture. They know what they're doing. They know how to make their games. They got their own engine for narrative trees. They don't need your help. All they need is your money. Cut the check, get out the way. So like you got studios that can do that. That in some ways I look at Obsidian at a higher level than some of the Sony studios. Not the top ones, but you know, when you have levels to this, it's just not as cut and dry as PlayStation Studios is just straight up better. So don't expect anything from the Xbox ones. Not only do I think some of those Xbox studios can stand toe to toe with them, but they better. And I got no cut cards for any of them. Every single one of them better drop a banger. Undead Labs, you want to know this, bro. Just like 343. So like all of them got to step up.
And like someone was saying, like when you just start breaking down the levels to what Sony brings and what Microsoft brings to the table, you know, I've been saying it for a while. I think Microsoft is going to outclass Sony this upcoming generation. You know what I mean? The diversity of the studios that they have and the ones that they also purchase, you know what I mean, will allow them to do that. If you look at on the Sony side, we really only got 3 notable studios that everybody talks about. You know what I mean? They hang their hat on those studios.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for, Santa Monica brought us one game this entire generation.
Mm-hmm.
God of War. Yes, it was a masterpiece, but they worked on that game for forever, and they only gave us one. Naughty Dog gave us The Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted 4. They had 2 games. That's what they hang their hat on. You know what I mean? Like, we're about to get Ghost of Tsushima, and we got Infinite. The only reason why people talk about those games so much is because they're story-based games, and people can, you know what I mean, fall in love with the characters. But if you look at the diversity that Microsoft Studios brings to the table, you know what I mean, they have a game for anybody in your family. You know what I mean?
Good point, man.
From your 5-year-old to the gamer yourself. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? They outclass Sony when it comes to the racing genre. Totally beating anything in multiplayer. They're beating them. You know what I mean? They're killing them with Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like Sony has nothing on that level to bring people into their ecosystem like that. So, like when people try to say like, "Oh, Sony's got the better studios," they just have more notable games. They have characters that people fall in love with. And now that they have studios that will focus on RPGs and story-based games and things like that, and they basically have Microsoft, unlimited money to do what they kind of, whatever they want to do, Microsoft will have games on that same caliber. So to say like, oh, Sony's got the better studios. No, they don't. They just have more notable games. Name any other studio beyond the three that I just mentioned that have brought anything notable to us this generation. You could name one.
I mean, you said Sucker Punch. Who was the other one? Naughty Dog.
And Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. I would throw Gorilla in there with.
Well, okay, yeah, I forgot. So
with Horizon, yeah.
And now they have Insomniac too.
And
Insomniac now. Now they have Insomniac with Spider-Man. But
look, before they signed Insomniac, right? They have 4 notable studios, but they have 15 studios. What did the other ones make that made notable games? You can't name one. But if you look on the other side of the fence, you got 343 who has Halo, one of the biggest IPs in the gaming market, period. You have the Coalition that put out Gears. You got Turn 10, and you have Playground working on 2 different racing franchises. They got the same amount of notable studios, and this upcoming generation they're going to bring more to the table. That's just facts.
All right, this entire topic is a video that I was going to work on, and I actually went through both PlayStation Studios and Xbox Game Studios and really looked at every single studio, researched what they did, what they've made, and kind of gave them a grade. And I didn't come out with the video because I'm like, I didn't want to deal with the backlash from some people on some of how I would have felt about both platforms, developers in some ways. But I gave them grades and I gave them points off of grades. And then when it came down to it, Sony still graded out better, but it was much closer than people give Xbox Game Studios credit for. The problem with Xbox Game Studios is not really a problem. It's that I grade them from A to D. I don't think they got any F studios. And then they got a couple of studios that I didn't give a grade to, like the Initiative, because they haven't made a game yet. And then I didn't give a grade to Forwardworks and Sony San Mateo, because Sony San Mateo is a code development studio. They don't make anything on their own. They just help support. They've helped Insomniac make Spider-Man. So they're not really their own thing. And Forwardworks they make mobile games. So we don't care about that. But the difference and the reason why PlayStation had a higher grade when I did this is because they had 5 studios that I considered A studios. That's Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, Insomniac. I'm sorry, 4. Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, Insomniac, and Media Molecule. I feel like those 4 studios, A tier, based upon the fact that all of their games are reviewed so well. Minimum you're getting on their games is in the high 80s for their worst games, as well as the overall gaming community really enjoys the stuff that they do. And I put B tier for Gorilla, Sony Japan, Sucker Punch, and I put in Sony San Diego because people always say MLB is good, even though it ain't really got no competition. The difference between them and Xbox Game Studios is the only A-tier studio I feel like they really have right now is Playground, because Playground is the only one that's proven that they hit above and beyond the expectations every single time.
Do you think people are sleeping on Playground right now, especially?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've heard people say things like, "Oh, they only made races. They ain't never made a RPG before." How do you
Didn't they
like?
say the same thing about Gorilla?
Oh yeah,
It's-
I was about to
Yeah,
say that.
yeah,
yeah,
Yep.
it's a great
They
point.
said the same thing about
Same thing, man.
Respawn. Well, Respawn Entertainment. Oh,
Yeah, they
you've
did.
only made first-person shooters. This ain't Call of Duty. This ain't Titanfall. How you gonna make a Star Wars third-person action game? It was a damn good third-person action game. When you have a studio that has a certain culture of quality, when you have a certain expectation on how you make games and how good your games are going to be, I really feel like you can cross over to a different genre and you'll be fine. It's all about how you prepare and how you make it happen. Respawn and Playground are both doing similar things. Respawn didn't say, I'm gonna take my Call of Duty, my Titanfall team, and I'm gonna have them do something they haven't never done before, which is make a third-person action game. They said, you know what, Lord, hold on. Let's go get people who've done this before. Bring up a second studio under us and have them do it. Great game. We see that with Playground. They have a second studio. They have their own space now. It's 100 people in that studio.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you get it done. This is what we see Guerrilla doing. They got two different studios. They got one working on Horizon and another one working on probably another Killzone, whatever multiplayer game that they're working on. They keep stealing all the Rainbow Six Siege's devs from. So, like, it's the way it works. Like, when you're a quality studio, you make quality games. Doesn't matter what kind of game it is. You make sure that when your games come out, they're going to be high quality. We keep hearing that Naughty Dog is going sci-fi now on their next game. I don't hear a damn person saying they ain't never made a sci-fi game before.
Well, they haven't, Slow-Mo. It might be trash.
That means it's going to be trash. Like, no one says that. Like, literally, nobody says that. But when we hear Bethesda is doing Starfall and they're doing a sci-fi game, we go, I ain't really kind of hear all that.
Well, Slow-Mo, we given Bethesda's track record, they'll probably use some booty old game engine, and people in that game will have ham face, and look like.
No, but they still get the pass though.
Like the meats at Subway when you go to get a Subway. What?
They still get the pass though for some reason.
I don't understand that doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I think Fallout 76, they lost all of their equity with the gaming community.
They lost equity with me.
But that's my whole point. My whole point is that when you're a quality studio, it's more than just I'm good at making a certain kind of game. It's the fact that you have certain standards that you set for your studio.
Yeah.
And before you your game, those standards are met. And that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so what you would be basically saying is, you know what, Enrique, you should compare them to Sony because of the talent of these of the first party studios that Microsoft has now, and the ability to offer a diverse style or types of games. Then, right? Is that I understand that correctly?
Hey, did all that talent make Last of Us 2 had that multiplayer on day one?
Mm.
Oh, that's what I thought.
See, it's you know what's funny? It's like everyone says, "Oh, you guys always hate on Xbox," but now let's listen to what B-Buddy just said.
Hey, man, everybody get that shot, man.
Yeah, everyone does. No, I agree. Like Sony's weakness with multiplayer needs to be addressed this generation. I wholeheartedly believe that because I do think it's funny, B. I will say this. I do agree with you to this point where if Sony's not careful, Microsoft could come back and kind of slap him in the face a little bit with a variety of offerings. Because I mean, outside of the initiative, they got real talk. They got Tim Schafer and Double Fine.
Double Fine, baby.
Double Fine is if you know who Tim Schafer is, Double Fine. Yep. I mean, Psychonauts, Grim Fandango. I mean,
want that brutal legend, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Floyd.
Looks good.
It does, looks really good.
Yeah, man. We're probably going to see that in a few weeks too.
Yeah, I think that's going to be there
coming in VR.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't sleep on Microsoft Studios. I've been saying it since they started buying them, man. I feel like, if Sony ain't careful, man, Microsoft gonna slap their ass aside the head this generation, and they ain't gonna see it coming.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, DeFloyd, man.
I was just gonna say I want people to stop putting creative people in a corner and telling them what they can or can't, or what they should or shouldn't be doing. Like, when did that start? Let them do what they want to do. Let them create. I mean, you go ahead and stifle them. We're gonna get the same things from all of them, and they're all gonna suck.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Deflo, because I think that's kind of what Eric alluded to in our Last of Us Part 2 spoiler cast. I think, Eric, when you said something to the effect that people feel like they own characters or the protagonists in certain games, right?
Yeah. So that's when you can't see the forest for the trees, because you think you know better than what somebody knows on the characters that they created. If you have that much creative input that you really want, go make a story.
Yeah.
Then you do, and then you get to have 700,000 tweets of people telling you how shitty you are.
Have your kids threatened. No reason at all.
That's the funny part, man. Like how people go at, and it's been going on for the whole generation. How people go at devs, But if you went to, like I've said this before, if you work on a job making copies, and you had all day long, 1,000+ messages a day of people telling you how shitty you make copies, you start feeling some kind of way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I agree.
People forget that there's people on the other side of that, and it's like, yeah, you can definitely vocalize, if you didn't care for something, and you should definitely be vocal. Be vocal in both ways. Be vocal if you really dug it, and if you didn't, be vocal about that too. Just there's certain ways you can go about that, but at the same time, these are people's characters to do kind of their thing with. You don't have to like it. Some people do, some people don't. That's fine. But you also don't have to rock with it. Like, I stopped watching The Walking Dead because I thought they were on some bullshit.
Yeah,
they were watching.
This goes back to the conversation that we had when we were talking about IP and what you could do with it. And if Spider-Man could be somebody else, wake up tomorrow. At the end of the day, it's their IP. They have the creative freedom to do whatever they want.
Right.
And they chose to take a path, and if you chose not to agree with that path, that's cool too.
But you know what? I love the fact that you brought that up, because I'm sitting back and I was laughing how people were so heated over what should be happening with Miles Morales, right?
Right.
Now, Slow-Mo might remember this too, but I remember nobody back in the day, that was a hard sell. People were heated.
Yep.
There was a Black Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were offended that Donald Glover would have the audacity to even audition for the role.
Mm-hmm. And even that, when Marvel created him in Ultimate Spider-Man, people weren't having it, and they stuck with it, and I was like, I applauded them for sticking with it, because they ended up creating a character that is a pop culture phenom now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it goes when someone wants to dare to take a chance. Now, you can take too much of a chance and people come at you for it. We look at, Zack Snyder with, what he did with some of the Batman and Superman stuff.
Right.
But that's also somebody kind of, it's a different approach from a Christopher Nolan to a Zack Snyder. Christopher Nolan's approach was, these characters have been around for 60+ years. All I need to do is tell my version of what I'm trying to do with it, or carry it along with taking care of it. Zack was like, these characters aren't edgy enough. It's like, that's two different,
Where is he?
But at the same time, there are people who dug what Zack did and people that couldn't stand it.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
But that's just it. It's storytellers kind of doing something with their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't be afraid to go places with it, because Enrique, like you keep saying that, we laughed over the whole generation. Even B, you remember those talks we would have where it was like, yo, let Marcus go.
Yeah,
kill him. Kill him.
And I was like, and I like kind of how they pulled him back in, to Gears 5. They kind of made him like that character that people look up to. And I'm like, that's kind of where I was at with Gears 4. I'm like, if you're not going to kill him, he should be that dude that's more in the background.
Yeah, he should have been the one in that choice at the end of Gears.
Yeah, and it's just like
more of a torch passing, I felt like,
right,
in Gears 5 than what they tried to do in Gears 4.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I remember people used to get heated to the point of blocking. I've been blocked by many because I would dare to suggest that they need to move on from Marcus.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys, I gotta get these super chats here from JD Gamer. JD Gamer with the $5 super chat says, "Panel, what do you think will happen if Microsoft gets WB Asobo Techland and builds a AAA Japanese studio while offering $399, $199 price point for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S?"
That's a major move if it happens.
Yeah, that'd be a game changer. I would say.
I think JD. I think that's a little optimistic.
That's a hell of a list for Santa Claus.
It's a bold prediction.
Yeah,
sure.
That's like
he told you that.
Huh?
I sent for $5. He must have called Miss Cleo for $5,
man.
Call me.
Look. Okay, WB Asobo is great.
Yeah,
Techland has had some good times, although they seem to be in a bit of turmoil right now. A quadruple A Japanese studio and Xbox Series X at $400 and the Series S at $200. I mean, like, that's just.
I would love that.
I would love it too, but because we would love that is the reason why that's not going to happen. It's just like, you know what, JD, why didn't you throw in them just giving us Xbox Series X's? I mean, like, just give it to us. You want it in every home? Make it free. Why not?
And console sales don't matter, so give them up.
Right. It's just, he said Microsoft already has a 10-year contract with Asobo. Really?
I don't remember seeing that.
I don't remember that.
Hey, JD, if you could drop a link to that or something, or
new.
DM me the link if you're on Twitter or something. I love to take a look at that because that's something I wasn't aware of. I just think overall, I think that's a little presumptuous. Did you want me to get this? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and while that sounds awesome, like fantasy league, awesome,
Oh, okay. He said it's for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that but that would be a lot of studios. Like, how would you cram all that? I mean, I guess you could all that content. I mean, I don't know. Considering the
one game 15, a month. Is what they want.
1 game a month. 15 current studios plus that
AAA game every quarter from first party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When it comes to the studio side of it, JD, like, I don't think anything's out of the realm of possibility, man. Because this is probably the toughest generation to predict because it's just so wild. It's like the Wild West right now about what these companies are doing. It's so different. So, but the pricing on those consoles, I don't see that happening at all.
Yeah. Real quick, I get this stuff. Another $5 super chat for JD Gamer. Says Sony's rumored acquisition of, I think he meant to say Digital Extremes, will give them a lot of multiplayer talent, while Microsoft focuses more on single player narrative Japanese games.
Yeah, I did a video on this. It is. I don't know if Sony's going to win this bid. Apparently, there are other companies vying for this as well. If they did get it, I think it would be really good for them, but especially even better for Digital Extremes and Warframe, because Digital Extremes has been really struggling to try to keep Warframe afloat, and they've had to, at this point, they started out as an independent developer and kind of like one of those success stories, those feel-good stories, like, man, that's one studio's independent and they got their game just the way they like it, and they treat all their community great. They don't price gouge them. They don't try to cultivate whales, and everything is hunky-dory. But if you look at the Warframe right now, the Warframe community of gamers are really not satisfied because Digital Extremes, they cannot keep up with the content of their competition. Bungie is more than double their size. The Division with Ubisoft has 5 different studios making content for the Division. It's just not
you're
enough.
Right.
They can't keep
you're
up.
Right. They can't keep up. But
they
let me ask
Sony to double their studio and give them the financial backing to really make Warframe what it is. So it'll be great for them. And I mean, when people say Sony doesn't have multiplayer games, they're not really talking about that kind of game though. That's a looter shooter. It's like an acquired taste, It's like you got your people who like looter shooters, but and they could be people who like PvE games. They could be people who like PvP games. But there are a lot of people who like PvE and PvP games that can't stand looter shooters. So I think people kind of say like they want more something like Killzone. They want more games like that where it's more in keen to something like a Call of Duty than, hey, this is going to dominate all of my free time for gaming because I gotta keep up with the content loop of this game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But even if they did do it, I don't think they would stop Warframe on Xbox or Switch.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like if they would pull back on.
No, I think with it, because I think it would hurt them. It would hurt how they would look to the overall gaming community. I think it would really piss people off. What I think they would do is keep Warframe on everything, but then double Digital Extreme staff and then have them start Warframe 2. And Warframe 2 would be on PS5 and PC, and that's it.
I don't even think they would do that. I would think they would probably just have them work on a separate IP, and Warframe would just continue to be in its existence on every platform.
Yes, that's a possibility too. Yeah, I can see that happening too as well. Yeah.
Because in that way, they don't have like that backlash of people who play Warframe and can't access the second one. You know what I mean? Because they're playing it on Xbox or whatever. If you just continue that story and make a separate IP, you get less backlash for that.
But hey, they could kind of treat them the way the people complain about Spider-Man, not Miles Morales not being on PS4. You want to play this? Buy PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you want to play Warframe 2? I think you know what you need to do. Like, especially considering a good large portion of the Warframe community are PC guys, so it wouldn't even affect them. I think they would still, you know how they are now with PC. They put more of their content on PC, especially multiplayer, and Warframe's a big co-op game. It wouldn't affect PC at all. I could like a good 50% of the people that play that game are on PC, so I think they would be like, if you're a console dude, we want you to be playing your games on PlayStation anyway. So hey, come on over to our side if you want that sequel. But I could see them also doing something completely different. Have them have a second studio do something completely different as well, because they pump out way more new IP than any of their competition. So
yeah, and that leads me to just kind of segue to WB. We got more news of Microsoft kind of kicking the tires, if you will, to see if they potentially purchasing WB Games, which by any stretch of the imagination I think would still be a big acquisition for them. I've seen some people kind of go back and forth the licensing thing. I've seen some people say that all the licensing would be included, but I've read some things that's not necessarily the case. What's up, Gaby Forte?
What up, though? Y'all been having a great show.
Forte.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey,
Def Floyd, shout out to you, brother, for being. I didn't know you was gonna be on the show, man. Shout out to you making it on.
Hey, thanks, man. It's been really fun. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, man. What were you about to say, Enrique?
Forte, we missed
I bought
your
that collector's edition.
Yes, nice. It's funny because Def Floyd was like, it looks like Forte shopping. I'm like, you should definitely buy that collector's edition.
Yeah, it was. I was going through George's counting stuff, and I was like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Oh man, the pre-order that nobody picked up." I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm buying this."
Yeah, Forte. I've seen them pop up every now and again on GameStop.com, man. Like,
yeah, man, they're not easy to find.
Yeah,
I was shocked it was still there. He said it'd been there for like 4 or 5 days. I was like, man, I thought those had been gone by now. But what were you? Okay, you're saying something about expertise. I don't have any of that, sir. That's slow-mo backslap all day.
Oh wow, here we go. No, I was gonna say your expertise in Ryan. We were talking about Ryan's toys.
Lord!
But real quick, I want to give you a really big shout out, Gaby Forte, because you were kind enough, sir, to get me a copy of that collector's edition for The Last of Us Part 2. Ship it over to me. Which I did receive on Monday, man. So thank you again, man. Nice. I really appreciate that. That was huge, bro.
Oh no, I told you hey, I gave that person had more than enough time to pick that thing up, and if he didn't want it, I'm gonna send it to somebody else that will enjoy it. And guess what? That person still hasn't called me and asked me about it. So I think I made the correct decision.
There you go, money.
Yes, you did. Yeah, but I told Forte, I was like, Forte, I will PayPal you right now, sir. Let me know what shipping is, cost of the collector's edition, and let's do it. Sure enough, man, he got it.
Shipping wasn't as much as I thought it would be for that big box. It was only like $20. I was like,
yeah, I was surprised, man. Yeah, I was really surprised it was only that much.
Yeah, only $20. But I see you guys are talking about this whole like WB information, and I do want to chime in on something that you guys talked about where y'all were talking about the third party stuff earlier for Microsoft having that at their event, and how some people say it should just be all about Microsoft stuff and not really third party. I think the third party stuff that's going to be at that show are the things that's going to be exclusively sent to Game Pass. And I think those are the developers that are going to talk there. I was talking to Slow-Mo about this yesterday. We were talking about how Bungie has a really great opportunity because it's being rumored that they have marketing deals for that game. And it's not unprecedented because if you remember, as of right now, through Google Stadia's premium service, if you have their premium service, you get the DLC free with that with the vision of playing that game too. So I'm thinking, and this isn't confirmed anywhere, that part of the marketing deal that they have with Bungie is the fact that if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you instantly get the DLC for free, and because the game's already free, but you get access to the DLC pretty much like they're doing with Stadia when it comes to their exclusive rights too. That would be huge. They'll still be able to sell the game in other places, still be able to sell the DLC in other places, but if you have that premium subscription on Xbox, that would be a move that I think that definitely happens. So if you see Bungie at their reveal event, that's pretty much what I think they're going to announce.
Wow, that would be huge, man. That kind of marketing deal. I think I heard you talk about. I think you guys, Slow-Mo talked about this.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah. So, that would be huge. All right, to get that marketing deal, considering how big it was for Sony to have that marketing deal at the start of this console generation. So, real quick, guys, I got to get the super chat for JD Gamer. $10 super chat. Thank you, JD. Says if every AAA publisher decides to have their own version of Game Pass and begins to pull content off traditional platforms, a la Netflix and Disney Plus, there's where all my studios I listed pay off for Microsoft.
Yeah, but there's only a couple publishers that even have the potential to do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
like
EA, Ubisoft. I mean, they're doing it on PC right now, right?
And do it well.
What
That's
you say
the difference. That's the difference. How many can do it? A lot can do it, but how many can do it on the? Because the thing is, since Microsoft and Sony have platforms that a lot of these games are a part of, it's easier for them to do it because they can pull a lot of third parties to do it. Why would another third party developer put their games on another third party site? It's a different ecosystem when you're talking to the platform holder like Xbox or PlayStation to do it, because you already have your games there in a buy now situation. But why would Ubisoft put their games on Origin, or why would Origin put their games on Uplay? That's the thing that kind of doesn't make a little sense. And I don't think any of these, maybe EA, because they've been doing it really well for a while, and they have a lot of IPs that can really garner that $100 or that $30 subscription that they ask from you every year. But I don't see like Ubisoft and them having enough throughout a whole calendar year. I mean, especially since they don't do Assassin's Creed every year; they're like every other year. But those are the only two that really could do it. Everybody else is kind of like, just hoping that it doesn't turn into a bigger thing than it actually is at this point.
I would say I kind of agree with Forte, but kind of disagree as well, because when you mentioned having like more content from other third parties, and I was going to say, I guess you kind of alluded to it with Origin Premier. Origin Premier doesn't just have EA published games on it. It has games from many different developers that were not published by EA. It's very much just for PC, but kind of like a little mini Game Pass. They don't have as many games as Game Pass, but and they are mostly focused on like particularly EA titles. But when I first played A Plague's Tale, it was before it came to Game Pass. It was on Origin Premiere, and I played it there. And many times I see games on Origin Premiere before they show up on Game Pass. So, like, it is in the PC space somewhat of a compared to the Game Pass, especially considering Game Pass PC does not have as many titles, nor as some of the more high profile titles that come out on Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass will get like a game, and you'll be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to play it on my PC." And be like, "Oh man, it's not on on Game Pass on PC," but some of those games show up on Origin Premiere, so it really kind of depends on it. And I think there are different rules, or not rules, but there's more competitors for Game Pass in the PC ecosystem, so they gotta kind of compete a little bit stronger there. But the same way I felt about these E3 like conferences propping up all summer, that next year there'll be a lot fewer of them, and then the people who ran those, what they would do is they would end up just getting with someone else's conference, and then eventually each year, if E3 doesn't come back, it's going to come down to everyone kind of consolidating to like 2 or 3 conferences. I feel like that's just the way competition is. And when it comes to these subscription services for gaming, Ubisoft is already dead in the water. I have no idea. They just did a free 7 days, just, you know, and promoting the hell out of it, because essentially they're not really getting a lot of people in there. That thing is going to be gone.
What do they have? What do they have though?
It's literally the worst way to do this.
Ubisoft games or like multiplayer games that are big on PC, like a Division big on PC.
Yeah, you get access to all their games.
Yeah,
and you get access to all of the DLC and all of the expansions for those games.
How much is that subscription?
It's $15 a month.
It's not bad, but
it's actually not bad for like 15.
But it's literally they drop only 4 games a year.
They don't drop enough games though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you do get access to the whole catalog though. I mean,
the difference for me.
Old.
The difference for me is, and I hate saying this, EA can get away with it because they have an annual sports franchise that people play all the time. Not everybody plays all of Ubisoft's games. They're popular, but they're not popular to the point where everybody goes out and says, I got to get the next Ubisoft game. Nobody says I got to get the next Assassin's Creed. You know, not everybody's like that. Whereas EA has a plethora, like they got FIFA, they got Madden. Just those 2 games alone for most people is enough to be in that service, because that's the games they play all year round. And unfortunately, 2K, if they decided to ever do this, they would be right in that same bucket, because NBA would be one of those games that a lot of people would just subscribe just because that's one game in an entire list of games that you'd be like, it's worth it just to be in there for that, on top of whatever else they throw out for that year. It just comes down to having that one thing that undeniably makes you want to be in the service every year. And unfortunately, Ubisoft doesn't have that one game every year that you say, I got to be in there just for this.
Ubisoft has to change up the format and make it more like Game Pass and Origin Premiere, where they are courting smaller developers to get their games in, and not just their game, or it's just straight going to fail. Even though Ubisoft is a big publisher, they do not publish enough games to keep up with the content that Game Pass, even PS Now, and Origin Premiere are providing. I'm looking at Origin Premiere right now, and in Origin Premiere, they have, that I know for certain is not a EA published game, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Super Hot, Tacoma.
Bloodstained's a great game.
Yeah, you know, and A Plague's Tale is still in here. The vampire game that Don't Nod did a little while ago. They got content in here that is Tropico 6. I don't know if anyone's really interested in all that interested in that. I heard Bomber Crew's pretty good. Small indie game, but they got content in here that is not games that they made. Gone Home was like a big, narrative game a few years ago. Some of it's old, of course, but it's not their content. Therefore, they can kind of bolster their library and have some games that kind of like are not really always what they kind of do. Kind of make it a little bit more unique. Ubisoft doesn't do that, and so like these services that come in and they have all this. Well, we're gonna do our own thing instead of getting with these guys. All right, well, good luck, because it's not easy, and it's not just here. Pay us $15 a month, we'll give you everything. You don't make enough to keep up with everyone else.
Right. They don't make enough.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So with the people who are hardcore Ubisoft fans.
Yeah. I mean, I did subscribe to it because of some of the content, like with the Division. There's some other older like Ubi games that I wanted to go back and play.
I think the biggest thing is an Origin premiere.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like any service is worth subscribing to on a month by month basis, because they put out something you might want and you can get it for a lot cheaper than buying it outright. But I think what services, like what most of these services are trying to do, is try to find a way to hook you in to stay long term, which that's what Origin does. Origin has a way of this, like I literally forgot that I was paying for Origin until it came out of my account. I was like, oh shoot, there goes $100. But it's worth it because Star Wars was last year. Madden was last year. I played it with my father-in-law and did whatever other random games that come out on there. I'm like, it pays for itself. And then Game Pass, even if you weren't paying the $1 and had the long-term subscription that they gave you, it's still worth it for the $10 to $15, especially if you're playing on PC and you get access on both sides of the platform. So that's the thing that most of these subscription services have to do. And that's what I don't think that Ubisoft and even like Square Enix, they couldn't do anything like that because they just don't have that type of pool. Like they're not like Activision. If Activision wanted to do this, they could get away with it because they have tentpole titles that people would subscribe and stay subscribed for the whole year. And when it comes to like WoW, Diablo, they got Call of Duty, they got Hearthstone, they got tentpole titles that can do it without even having to have other games. And I just don't think Ubisoft has those type of games to be able to do that with.
Yeah. Real quick, guys. I do want to get to kind of the last topic of the evening. Because I do need to. I gotta get up like butt ass early. So with regards to some more rumors about the PlayStation 5 price, and I pulled this from Tech Radar. They posted an article about a potential. I guess there's another insider, a Twitter user, PS Everest, who recently tweeted several leaks about the PlayStation 5 via Let's Go Digital. He was saying that the leak suggests that the PlayStation 5 will release on November 20th of this year, and the price of the PlayStation 5 will be $499, so $500. We know that the estimated price to manufacture these consoles is about $450 for Sony, so $499 price point.
For which version, though?
Well, it doesn't say, but I don't. There's also this Nielsen article. I don't have the article in front of me. There was something related to a Nielsen survey about the price of the PlayStation 5, and I think some people were speculating that based on that that data that in fact the PlayStation 5 could release at $499 and then $399 with the discless version, the all digital PlayStation 5, which we saw at the reveal event last month. There's also some speculation that Sony may actually announce the price of the PlayStation 5 before Microsoft does. I don't know how much I believe that. I think Sony's probably going to hold out until August to make that announcement. And I think, Microsoft's probably going to do the same as well. So just a matter who blinks first in August.
Yeah, after the leaks that came out today about what Microsoft's doing with the initiative, it looks like they trying to have the last say in everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point for Tabe. So it's like I said, it's just a matter who blinks 1st in August. But I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? I think we've talked a lot about the price, and now we're seeing more, I guess, I don't know, leaks, if you will, but possible leaks of a $499 price point. I think this is going to happen. I've been saying for a long time, $500 for both Series X and PlayStation 5. And I do think that this discless PlayStation is going to be at $399. Again, I'm just basing that off of what we know the manufacturing costs for this console are at about $450 for Sony. Obviously, $500 price point. You can do the math. They're not necessarily selling it at a loss. So, what do you guys think?
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go? Definitely.
Everybody
we'll go
knows
with you,
how
sir.
I feel.
Yeah. Well, we know $600. Definitely. What do you think, man? $499? You think this is legit?
I don't know if it's legit or not, but I think $499 would be a good price point, especially right now, current climate. Because I don't know if people are going to go $599.
Yeah,
that's the question.
Flashbacks.
But that's the question, though. So you said, which I agree with what you just said, but what you hope the price is and what you think the price is two different things.
Right. Well, I mean, they can go $599. I mean,
they will sell out.
Do it. Oh yeah, those things are going to sell out regardless. Especially with all these apps that shop for people, like the scalpers. They're going to be sold out. Period. If you don't buy one when they come out.
The first shipment will sell out at $600. I was
going to say the same thing, Slomo, of course, that we see that every time. But those next couple of rounds at $600.
That $600 going to be looking a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Not with
those consoles are going to be next to Ryan's toys.
No,
Ryan's toys move.
Yo, Ryan's toys be moving.
Look,
Ryan about to jump in the StreamYard like, excuse me, my stuff sells. Okay, I don't mess around at $600. I don't price myself out of my own market.
So I think you guys, of course, you guys are right. It will be a situation where a lot of the stuff, like, I don't think as many as you guys think will be sitting on shelves if they did it for the second run at $600. I think it will be a little easier to find one, but I still think for the first half of a year, if they put it on $600, they'll still be super hard to find. The fact that you got systems right now going, like Switches, literally going for 2 times the price. And people are buying them because they can't find them. That's going to be a big part of this whole narrative too, especially if they have something that is sought out that they want to buy. If people,
but that kind of still, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but that still kind of falls under the whole, what price is actually going to be priced to continue selling. This is how it always is, because the scalper market is going to be on top of it, because they know that's how consoles go. Those initial hits, people will pay stupid prices to get those. And then your next rounds, you're going to start getting the people who have taken ownership over the fact that they can't find one. And then the hunt fever catches them. And then they start to do stupid things and pay more, or they're calling your store like every 20 minutes to see if you got a shipment.
20 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? But when that starts to peter out and that reality sets in, that 600 is going to start looking spooky.
But that's when like, well, let's think about it. How many systems did the 3DS sell life today? Was it like close to like 80 million or something like that?
The 3DS?
Yeah, 3DS.
Over its whole lifetime?
Over its lifetime. Was it like 80 million? It might have been 100 million almost. Some crazy number like that. But that system, remember, that system came out at what? 3 when they released it, and it was 300 for the first part of that whole year, and it was selling out. But then it got to a point, like you said, where people wasn't willing to spend $300. And what did they do? They dropped the price. They dropped that price, 9 months after launch, $49, and they started selling. They started selling even more. I just think it's at a point now where if right now they know they can get away with selling. They can sell it for $600 and they'll sell out for the foreseeable future, probably through the first half of the year. And then
I would say that's a little presumptuous.
It depends on what stock is, because if stock is low,
they already said stock is going to be low.
It's going to sell no matter what. It doesn't. There's the thing. They don't care who it sells to. They're just going to sell. they're going to sell out. If you really want a PlayStation, you're gonna find a way to get one. You're either gonna spend the $600 on the store market, or you're gonna spend more on a scalper market.
Fortunately, I think you've been believing some of the memes and stuff on Twitter. People out here joking. They really not gonna sell their ass for a PS5. Okay, look, it's not that serious.
Listen, people don't have to do anything. If the games are there, if the games are there, people will spend the money. That's all it comes down to. If the games that people want to play, they're going to do it.
They're not going to spend money they do not have to spend.
Who don't have money to spend?
Hey
guys, real quick. Hey guys,
we in the freaking economic crisis that this
I
country,
wouldn't know.
The entire world has not seen.
I wouldn't know
in over a century.
I wouldn't know that.
Who does have money right now?
I wouldn't know that working in a game store where our sales are literally almost up for the year.
Dude, you are one guy in one store in one city.
I'm talking about company wise. They already said that their numbers due to everything going on are way higher than they expected them to be. They literally came out and said that.
They said their numbers
that they expect
due to what's going on. So they already
because they didn't expect people to be spending money like they
already lowered their expectations based on what was going on, and then they still were getting some sales. So they said, "Oh,
games are the one form of media can withstand a recession."
Hey, real quick, I get the super chat. JD gave me the $2 super chat. Says, "What if Ubisoft and Square got together for a service? That would be quite a service if those two got together.
It would be if they actually get along to do it.
Yeah, right. If they, exactly. But
get along to do it, shit.
But no, I mean, like,
I just want to say one quick thing.
You got to finish his thoughts. Let him finish.
Using Switch as an example of people spending higher for a Switch doesn't make sense, considering that the Switch is way cheaper than their competition on the market. So the reason why it's sold out is because it's so cheap. That's going to be different for the PlayStation 5, considering the PlayStation.
No, it's not. You're not talking about a year from now. We're talking about literally within the first 6 months. You ain't going to be able to find one probably. A brand new system, a brand new console. Like I said, it all comes down to the games. If the games are people wouldn't care about a Switch being sold out if Animal Crossing wasn't a thing. It wouldn't be the reason the Switch sold out as much as it did is because of Animal Crossing.
Going to have an Animal Crossing level game at launch?
No, I don't know what they're going to have. I'm just saying if they have a game that is beneficial enough to make you want to do. Well, you also got to think the PlayStation name is big enough to make people want to go out and get the system on its own anyway. You're buying it for one game, Spider-Man.
Real quick. I just want to chime in. Like I see what Forte's saying. Like I think I do agree with him. I think people are going to buy PlayStation 5s at launch. We know that they could probably price it at $600. People will sell it, but I think that would be counterintuitive to Sony's and what Jim Ryan has said, that we want to get this console as quickly in the hands of people as possible. $600 doesn't do that. I think that they also have a little bit of they know how that $600 price point works with the PlayStation 3. Yes, the PlayStation 3 was sold out. But they didn't. Ago. Yeah, but I mean, it was
spending habits are a lot different now.
But I don't think, again, from what Jim Ryan's saying, I think that's very counterintuitive to what they want to do with this PlayStation 5.
He also said it's not going to be a cheap system. Says not. It's
but let's remember something.
Price their other systems at, so that would still fall in line.
You gotta remember, he's also talking in the ecosystem where Microsoft literally released a $500 system the whole generation.
Well, Forte, but $399 though.
Well, $399 doesn't have anything to do with how Nintendo prices their product.
When you're throwing out numbers about value. You're not just talking. You're talking about it's the value of what people are going to pay. People were willing to pay $500 for a system this generation.
Look, let's stop.
They were.
Hold on, wait. Let me chime in real quick.
People were literally willing to go out and spend $350 on an accessory for your PlayStation.
Hold on, real quick, guys. So
2 million people.
People did it.
Hey, I'm trying to talk.
Like they said,
Go ahead, Enrique.
I'm about to get Ron. Hey, I'm about to bring Ron. Just reached out to me to bring him in here to start selling you guys some toys. No, I look okay. So the whole like Forte, what you were saying, and I think what Slow-Mo was saying with Jim Ryan saying that, it's going to be more money, right? Expect this. I forgot what you said for something to that effect, right, Forte?
Yeah, he didn't say anything about that. He said the value proposition for what they're offering.
He said value versus perception of price. You know, it's some crazy.
Guaranteed the best price. They want to provide the best value.
The best value.
So they launched the PlayStation 4 at $399. They launched the PlayStation 4 Pro at $399. They did not launch a console at this generation at $499 the way Microsoft did. So, like Lomo said, like $100 increase is an increase from what people are used to for paying for a PlayStation, right?
Okay.
I mean,
I will stay on this island by myself.
Is this a yes? That's a yes or no question, man. You saying okay? Like
you know what I think. Listen, I don't have to tell you 10,000 times what I think is gonna happen. I keep telling you. I think one of these systems is gonna come in at $600. One of them will.
Forte, have you seen?
I don't know which one. One will though. One will.
Forte, have you seen anything on paper to lead you believe that this is true?
No, it's the simple fact of the matter. Look, I just feel at a certain point, people are willing to spend the money on something that they truly want, and these companies know that. There is a reason that stuff comes out at the price points that they do. Now, granted, in the last 10 to 15 years, $300, $200, $300, $400 has been the measuring stick for what we thought the price of these systems was going to be. But I also think that the fact that both these console makers are bringing out two different SKUs give them a reason and give them the authority to say, well, if you don't want the super highest end one, there is a system that's for you. And if you it comes down to the value.
Performs exactly like the digital version performs no different than the optical version.
It does, but it's still a cheaper system. It's still cheaper. If they
can launch them both at the same price,
if they give you, how many people would buy the $499 digital version of the system?
Bro, they can launch them both at the same price. We don't. They didn't talk price at all. They didn't even say.
It's all speculation. You make it seem like I know. I got a crystal ball in front of me.
I'm not saying that. I don't want the crystal ball. I know that. But look,
there's no crystal
me.
This is what I'm saying. Like, they never even said both of them are going to be the same price. We're not talking price yet.
To have any type of knowledge of the situation. This is what my opinion of working in stores and seeing what people's buying habits are. People will spend the money if they find it valuable to them. Just because you don't see it,
my opinion. Okay. As a customer, buy stuff in stores. Okay, I'm not spending $600.
And I agree with you because I don't think you are, Summer, but it's not you.
Forte, that's very anecdotal though. Like, and I understand like your point, but that may not apply to.
It doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. Higher prices never apply to the broader. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. So, but yeah, you're right.
2080 Ti doesn't sell as many as the 2060.
Forte, you're right though. You're right though in the sense that people will pay if they really want something. Like we all have done that. Like we could give many examples of different industries where that happens, right? But I think based on what we know with the production cost of the PlayStation 5 costing $450, we know that Jim Ryan's talked about maybe not being the cheapest, but we also know that there's data out there based on what Sony's done in the past. You got to imagine they're looking at that. That $600 price point killed them with the PlayStation 3. Yes, we understand it sold out, but it didn't do anything for it long term. Like it wasn't a good situation for them.
Yo, right? Okay. A recap. Wait, I'll wait. My bad. I'll wait till you're done. I got the perfect reason why it won't be $600. Here's the perfect reason why. If they were going to go $600, they would have already shown us the price. Because if you're going to go $600, you don't care where Xbox is going to be priced at.
I kind of would care
because you know, there's no reason to wait because you already know that the Xbox isn't going to be $700. So they're not going to go higher.
People are going to wait. You can wait regardless.
They're not going to go higher than
$600 out a week before the system release, and people even that doesn't matter.
How does it not matter?
Because it does. Because look, just because
why are they waiting for Xbox's price?
Listen, first of all, they don't want to have. Okay, so first of all, it just really just comes down to just X's and O's numbers. Yeah, are you absolutely right? Yeah, they could just come. I've been saying this for the longest. That's why I kept saying, that's why I was saying in the video I'm about to put out, why should we wait for the initiative's game? It's not going to be any difference from waiting a month just to one up Sony. You need to do everything now. Who cares about waiting to see what they do? So Sony can do the same thing and just give the price and don't matter. But it's gamesmanship at the end. But overall, listen, you don't
at the end of the day right now,
you don't believe that it's going to be $600 no more.
Hey, we're playing a game here. Oh boy, you almost got. That's not no. Look, you're not holding off the price over gamemanship right now. You're holding off the price because you don't know what Xbox's price is.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you so charged against the prediction that I have as just an opinion on that system?
I'm just disagreeing.
You're arguing it like I'm making it like it's a fact because I'm not saying it's a fact. That's what I just think is going to happen.
Okay, and I'm just telling you that's not going to happen.
You're literally arguing it like I'm literally saying it's going to be $600 slow-mo.
Well, I'm telling you it's not going to be $600 for that.
Okay, and I'm agreeing. If it isn't, like, look, I feel bad because people are literally going to think that I'm going a $600 system, and I don't. Just the thing that I think is going to happen.
Hold on. This is all I'm saying is that literally nobody is going above $600, right?
Nobody's going above that.
Right. So if you're going to go at launch at $600, there is zero reason for you to wait for Xbox to go because either they're going to launch at your price or they're going to launch below you. But if you are dead set at $600, there's zero reason to wait for them.
Not if Xbox is going to go at $5, I would drop the price to $5. I wouldn't go higher than Xbox if they're going to be lower.
Xbox is not going to go at $600.
Okay. That's the one system of all systems that could definitely do it. But go ahead. Argument's over. Welcome to the 14 and slow-mo show.
Well, I was gonna say most of this is probably moot anyway because
podcast and just you and I had a little tiff, and I was right and you was wrong as usual.
What?
But it's all good. And
what? Slow-mo taking this personal.
How am I taking it personal? I'm just saying.
Really making it seem like
I'm just you taking it personal.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it one more time.
I'll give you a virtual hug.
I love you too.
I'm gonna give you some silver on Destiny so you can buy some overpriced.
Last year that I spent. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna say it one more time for people can understand. Do I think one of these systems is going to be $600? I do, and it's not often no industry know-how or anything like that. It's mostly based off of just I just believe that we're at a tipping point where these developers feel like and these publishers feel like they can get more for their product, especially with the stuff that they're putting in these boxes. If that does not happen, I will not be hurt. I will pay Slow-Mo his $60 game, and I will do it happily. I will PayPal him the moment that they make the announcement. I won't even wait for the system to release.
Wait. Is that our bet? I thought our bet was no. Our bet was that you said that the Xbox would outsell the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that was the bet.
We had 2 bets? I thought we had 2.
No, we never.
You have so many bets.
No, we never made that. So we never made the bet. Okay, so never mind. I thought we actually bet on that. So
our bet was you said this was last year. By the way, you said that combination of all of the
All
Xbox.
I'll sell the PlayStation. I did.
I'll
say
sell
that.
the PlayStation
No,
5.
I didn't know about
Well,
that.
let me jump in. Let me jump in. I'm gonna squash it all right now. I'm gonna squash
Thank you,
it all.
Eric.
And then we got to wrap. Then we got to wrap
We're gonna
up.
wrap, but this ain't gonna happen because you got dudes right now bitching about paying $10 more for a game, and they bitching because games ain't gonna be 60 frames per second. So nobody buying a $600 console because nobody gonna be happy.
Facts.
Facts. E.
Thank you.
Facts. What a great way to end the show, by the way, E. I love that, bro. Love that statement because it's true.
And gamers will stand on their square and speak with their wallet. You know they're good for that, and they're good for boycotting.
Yeah, they're good for boycotting. Meanwhile, The Last of Us Part 2 sells like hotcakes. Yeah. I love it. Mic drop, like Def Floyd, the live chat just says mic drop. So by the way, great show, guys. Hey, Def Floyd. Hey man, thanks for hanging out with us today, man. Sorry we went off the rails with that whole Ryan.
Thanks for having me, man. Sorry about my mic. I really don't know what's going on with this thing.
No, you're good, man.
Nah, no worries, man. It happens to the best of us, man.
Ryan is my favorite YouTuber. I'm like, oh God.
What did she say?
Ryan is my favorite YouTuber.
Oh my goodness, that's too funny.
Well,
hey,
toy review.
Exactly, Forte.
Yeah.
Hey, Forte, you hear that in your sleep, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Ever since I saw, I was like, man,
Yeah.
They got a video game now, so.
Yep, it's going to retail for $70, and they won't be giving you the free upgrade in next gen.
You're gonna have to press your own disc.
Oh,
wait, because you missed it, Forte. Def Floyd was telling us he bought a Ryan puzzle. He said that shit wasn't even a puzzle.
damn. Well, at least as long as they put it on double Blu-ray, maybe they'll probably just put it on regular HD and say,
right? Yeah. But definitely, man. Man. Thanks for hanging out with me. Man. It was a pleasure having you on. Please let everyone know where they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm gonna start posting stuff on YouTube within next couple weeks. Just BSing my thoughts, So just
all right, man. Awesome.
Follow me on Twitter and
stuff,
you can find out
put it out there.
Going on. Yeah, it's Do the Third on Twitter. So and then it's gonna be Def Floyd on YouTube, and then I believe it's Do the Third on Twitch. So I have that set up. I've had it set up for, 6 months. I just never did anything with it.
Yo, Def Floyd, can I give you a tad little bit of advice?
Always, man.
Try to unify all of your social media under one name as best you can. Yeah. So like if you got like Do the Third on Twitter, but then like say Def Floyd on YouTube, if someone likes your content, they're going to be like looking for the same name on YouTube that they saw on Twitter. It's just easier, and it's something that I was told to do, and I've seen other people do that. B Money does that. Forte just finally got all his stuff looking all the same, name.
Whoa! It's all been the same name except for Xbox Live, sir.
Okay, well, look, that's what I'm talking about. See, you always got to argue with me.
You said social media, sir. My social media has always been the same.
People still find you on Xbox, man.
That's true. Okay. I just wanted to argue with Slow-Mo one more time.
Obviously. But that's all I'm saying. Just like choose which one you think is the best and just stick with that one and just make it uniform all across the board.
I hear you. I tried to do that, but people took Def Floyd on Twitch and then on some other ones. Def Floyd is my gamer tag on pretty much everything.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Well, cool, man. Let us know when
great taste in movies.
You know what you do? Do Def Floyd with a underscore in between Def and Floyd. Do it separately.
There you go. That's a good
idea.
Yeah, that's what I do with Gaming Forte. It's not all one word. It has an underscore in the middle of it.
Yeah. I had to do that on PlayStation and PSN because apparently Sony don't like the words backslap altogether. So I had to. Huh?
I wouldn't like that either.
Slow-Mo, you're not even on my friends list on PlayStation, man. What's up?
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Aries?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You are.
Yeah. Speaking of which, when you gonna change your stuff?
Forte, you're not my friend. You're not on my friends list.
I am on your friends list. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right, Def Floyd, I'll have to send you a PlayStation invite too, man.
When you gonna you just skated by that. When you gonna change that stuff from Aries? You are not the God of War.
I am the God of War. All right. On that note, guys, definitely want to get thank you, man, and appreciate you coming through. And let's go to Eric Jackson. I don't want to forget Eric Jackson because I don't want him starting grap. Yo, everyone look for you, man.
You can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. All the social medias except for Switch, where there's like 2 phone numbers put together.
You ain't lying. Get your social security number, please.
For real.
Yeah.
You need to dash with that.
Next, we got my man Gaming Forte. Where can people find you?
Oh man, y'all held it down, man. This was a great show. I was listening to it while I was at work, and really shout out to you guys. Definitely, you did a really good job today, man. If you need any help with anything, let me know, and I'll definitely shoot through to help you with some of the stuff you need to get set up with. But it's Gaming Forte.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem. Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, soon to be PlayStation. Unless I get scared and not want to change it because I don't want to lose all my games, because that's a thing. But,
I did it, man, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Okay, then I'll do it.
Completely overblown.
Okay, so I'll actually do it today then, and I'll post the results on Twitter. But no, man, I do want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the channel over the last couple of days, man. You guys have been incredible, and I really, really appreciate that. And I did hear that Slow-Mo is going to make a Grounded video if I put out videos every day next week. Do I have a confirmation on that? I'm gonna give you a chance.
Yes, and there are some stipulations with this. Okay,
not a 10-minute, a regular production,
a regular video. I don't want you to just go live and say, "Hi, it's Gaming Forte. I'm out." Peace. Like, no, I want a real video with real content, and I want to enjoy it.
What? No. Come on. Enjoy it?
Enjoy all your videos. So if you do your regular content, we ain't got no problems.
Okay.
All right. Sweet. So and do that for
What's the date from? What's the date?
From first? Sunday, this coming Sunday, to next Saturday. Every day.
All right, done.
You do that, I'll do a Grounded video.
Cool. All right, sweet. All right. On that note,
we gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta get to bed. I get up like 5 in the morning. Slow-Mo, go ahead, man.
Yo, real quick, thanks for everybody in the chat for watching the show. Panel, awesome. Def Floyd, you did great. You did great, man. I really appreciate you. Check out my YouTube channel. I just got over 400 subs. A little happy about that. Trying to keep it, a little grounded on my enthusiasm and everything. But things are going well, and I'm really enjoying making content for you guys. And I still got some videos in the pipeline, so look out for that soon.
Yeah, Ground is one of them.
All right, B Money.
Yeah, man. You can find me same name everywhere, like literally everywhere. B Money 101.
Sweet. All right. Big shout out to With a Live Chat, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate all the super chats. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Hit that bell notification so you are notified when we go live. Again, big thank you to our special guest this evening, Def Floyd. Please give him a follow. On that note, we are Brap and we are out. We'll see you next weekend. Peace.